What's up, everybody? Michael Silva here, special guest Coco to do a technical analysis update on the S&P 500, the S&P 500. Today is May 14th. Let's get into it. All right, so we are here on the daily time frame. We're going to look at this and then we're going to hop back into the hourly time frame. I'm going to keep today's video short, simple, and to the point. Most of these previous days were probably fueled on the downward direction because the market has been pricing in negative interest rates for January 2021. And then Jerome Powell came in the other day.
The committee's view on negative rates really has not changed. This is not something that we're looking at.
Shooting down the idea of negative interest rates. And then now we have Goldman Sachs coming in and saying, hey, if a second wave of the coronavirus does come into play, the Federal Reserve will need to rethink negative interest rates. And just because the Federal Reserve says that negative interest rates, they're not even thinking about it or planning on doing that, you got to understand that's not always the case. That's enough of the fundamentals. Let's go ahead and hop into the daily time frame analysis. First off, yes, we had the break just yesterday of the trend line, closed below it. The MACD has crossed over. It is still above zero, okay? But it's starting to build momentum potentially to the downside. Will it continue? Well, this is a lagging indicator, so we don't know and don't have that answer. It has been just stuck within that channel, right? The Fibonacci 50% retracement level and the 61% retracement level. Let me just draw that in for you so you can see it again. Boom. Okay, so nothing crazy here. I think it's going to be kind of in this channel here, unless if some crazy news comes out. So it's going to be interesting to see. All right, so here is the hourly time frame. This was yesterday's candle. Remember we were talking about like it bounced right from the 50% retracement level and then moved up. Well, it opened with a pretty sizable gap down. So it closed here, opened here, and then started really pushing down. But the bulls were like, nope, not yet. And this is kind of what we've been expecting. Remember, we've been talking about this trend line. It's been holding support, 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 and then finally broke. And when things break, you typically see a retest. Not 100% of the time, but you do typically see retests, and that's when I really like to actually trade is on the retest. Sometimes I like trading the breakdowns, like when a stock flushes, or even potentially the breakout. But I always, if I miss it, you can always look for a retest. You just need to be patient for it. Now, this has been trading within this channel, right? The 50 and 61%. So bounce, boom, boom, ping pong, ping pong. So will we see this move all the way back up to here? It's very, very possible. However, I do think personally with the 50-day moving period right here, and then this trend line right here, it clearly was a very strong support, and now is going to act probably as a very strong resistance, at least on this hourly time frame. So if I were to play this, I would look for the back test here and then potentially fade opportunity intraday, where I can fade like a little bit of a pullback. It just really depends on what takes place there. So will we see it retest and then come back to the 50% and potentially break down, or will we see break above? It's been playing out very similar to how we've been drawing it out, this kind of up and down, up and down, up and down momentum. So it will be interesting to see how this plays out overnight and how it plays out tomorrow. And just to wrap everything up, because when we see this stuff happen within these channels, keep in mind that if you are a day trader, if you're trading intraday, depends on what times of the days that you're also trading, but there's a lot of chop that has been happening. You have very murky weather. It's kind of going everywhere. So manage your risk thoroughly. Make sure that you're really, really being patient to enter into your trades. Wait for the right timing, and don't feel rushed. That if you get that anxiety feeling that you're going to miss out on something, chances are you should probably just walk away from it in the first place because you're entering into it for the wrong reasons. That's all I have for you today. That's all Coco has for you. We will see you on the next S&P 500 update.